Hi there. Welcome to My Other's Keeper Mental Health Monday. Today we're going to talk about obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD. What is it? Who has it? And what can be done while you do have it? So, I am not a healthcare practitioner. I am not a mental health care practitioner. I do not have OCD. Therefore, I'm going to read a number of facts and information about it. Um, and we're going to find out that there are some very famous people who have lived and even thrived while living with OCD. So, OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, affects 2 to 3% of people, but it's not classified any longer as an anxiety disorder. It's its own disorder altogether. It usually shows up during two periods of life: 8 to 12 years old, or late adolescence to adulthood. Risk factors are a family history with OCD and exposure to trauma, stressful events, and other such things uh, can trigger OCD. I do remember that when my parents divorced, I started doing things by twos. It was just a way that I felt that I could control my environment, and I was developing OCD. My mom saw what I was doing. She's like, "Kim, I'm not going to let you do that." And anytime she caught me doing it, she stopped me in my tracks and reminded me that was not a way to control things. So I'm really very grateful for my mom for being able to help me through that. So, how can OCD be characterized? Well, number one, there's obsessions. Those are recurring, unwanted, intrusive thoughts that cause distress for an individual experiencing them. They are not fun. They are not happy. It's not just a flighty, oh, well, maybe. No, it's like, boom, this has to happen. Boom, this has to happen. Boom, this is going to happen. And then there's the compulsions. These are repetitive behaviors that someone feels compelled or feels like they must perform, often in response to an obsession. These behaviors can take multiple forms, such as mental compulsions or observable behaviors. So, mental compulsions, I have to count to 1,000 within 30 seconds. I have to notice every doorway in a room, or physical. I have to touch the door handle. I have to not touch the door handle. I have to turn off and on a light. Those are different ways that it can be shown. So, is it always absolutely a bad thing? Well, if it's not treated, it can be, and that's where the compulsions can come in. But there are definitely some ways where you can succeed because of it. It can be a little bit of a superpower. So, people with OCD will frequently have good organizational skills. They'll have an attention to detail. They have higher imagination and creativity. They usually have an empathy for others because of their level of anxiety that accompanies the OCD. Determination. They have a really strong determination and a drive to perform certain behaviors. Therefore, once they put their mind to something, they're driven to succeed. And then persistence. Along with that drive comes persistence to be able to succeed. So, 10 famous people who have OCD, people you've likely heard of. David Beckham has OCD. He's opened up with his living with OCD and its impact in his life. He reports struggling in specific cleaning rituals and having to arrange and organize items in a specific way. Howie Mandel very famously has OCD. He has um, he has germophobia, essentially, which is why he has no hair, because hair can hold and um, maintain germs with the sweat and all that stuff. So he shaves his head. It's not because he's bald. He actually has a great head of hair. He just really cannot stand the idea of germs being on his head. Leonardo DiCaprio has OCD. Howard Hughes, a billionaire, he isn't around anymore, but those of my generation will definitely know who he is. And he is somebody who very famously had OCD and ended up becoming a hermit because he couldn't handle the outside world. Cameron Diaz, on the other hand, has OCD, and she has apparently made peace with her OCD now. So she is able to live with it and deal with it as it comes. Justin Timberlake has OCD. He's apparently come forward with times that he has had to deal with intrusive thoughts and compulsions that come with the disorder, including hand washing and arranging items in specific ways. Camila Cabello has opened up about her struggles with OCD and how much impact it's had on her as well. Daniel Radcliffe, we know who he is. Jessica Alba, she's another actress, and Billy Bob Thornton. 10 very, very high profile, high achieving people who have OCD. I need to quit doing that near my microphone. 10 very high achieving, high output people with OCD. And in dealing with their OCD, not only do they recognize it, but they do treatment for it. They see therapists, they take medication for high anxiety, and they live with it. So much like I live with my bipolar type 2, as well as ADHD, PTSD, and generalized anxiety disorder, these people live and thrive through their OCD. There is hope. See ya.